Okay. Merry Christmas.
For all our YouTube videos, let me try again. For all our YouTube subscribers. What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying so my head isn't cut off. You always like to cut my head off. See? Right now my head is cut off. People think I'm a flathead.
For all our YouTube subscribers and people who watch our videos, hey, stop it. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Grandma and Grandpa. I love you, Grandma and Grandpa.
So here we are. Something totally different from our cooks and sausage making, hamburger making. Here we decided to finally get at making a 32-foot tall Christmas tree. Something I've always wanted to do. Have it go with music. Lights will dance to the music. Did this many years ago. Nothing this big, only had like a 6-foot tall tree, but this one we've been playing with the idea for quite some time. We had the lights, we had the towers, so the only thing was a matter of getting it done. So we happened to start a little bit late in the season. Should have started this probably back in September. And what we tried doing is we tried putting in screw piles. You've seen us with the skid steer trying to drill them in. So we started the screw piles. As you see, we had a tough time. Ground was frozen about 18 inches deep. Couldn't get past it, so we had to light fires where we wanted the screw piles to go. We let the screw piles go for about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, trying to soften the ground up. Finally was able to get screw piles in the next day. It did take quite some time. Had to get the big auger out again and auger through the frost because the little screw piles couldn't do it. So, but here we got Chris and Ron who were helping. They were putting the controllers on the stand. Dylan Rosenmeyer, he was with me right from day one to start on this. But here you see we're finally starting to sink in the screw piles. They're more for bins, but we figured they would hold our Christmas tree as well. So we got 4 of the 6 in the one day, and then the next day with more fire, we got the last 2 in. Okay, so here you can see still having a hard time getting those little screw piles in. I had to give up with them and put the big auger bit back on. Finally got them in, and then we were able to start hoisting the mast up. Okay, so here we're starting to set the mast up for the main tree. Had a heck of a time bringing them together. Pieces were a little bent. I had to use a strap to suck it up so I'd get the bolts in. Thank goodness the second half went together better. But each of these sections is about 12 feet. And this is just a mast from a old TV antenna that they used to have on some of the old farms. This morning I happened to be by myself for most of it. Ron was off hunting. As you could see, he's got his hunting gear on. He helped me figure out where I wanted it. And then away they went back hunting. This is the lift that we used to string all the lights. I originally thought I might be able to use this to put the mast in place, but had no way of getting the strap back off, so I had to let it back down. No. So here you can see I lifted it up, got it in place. That's when I realized I was not going to be able to get the tie strap off of it that was holding it. Ended up bringing it back down, and then I used the skid steer to lift it up. So I got it up far enough that I could actually start to use some of the cables that I'd made to hold it in place to tie to the screw pile. So I used the ratchet strap, started moving it into place, getting it all, get 4 straps going where I could actually get it standing straight, get it off the skid steer. Took a little bit of time, but what else are you going to do when you're by yourself? And now you can see I sank in the last screw pile. Want to do that afterwards, that way I didn't run it over and snap it off. So here I'm just getting everyone straight, getting it all centered, standing straight up and down, tightening up each one, getting the proper tension on it. Yeah, and Dylan joined me here again. So there we had it. Tree is in place. Now it's a matter of stringing lights. Only had to string 192 strands of lights. So each section here is 4 strands long, and each section is 3 different colors. Or each section with 3 different colors. So each one that we did, we had red, white, and green. And 4 strands, we picked it up in the middle and did it so that they were in 2-strand sections to hang it. And here we're making our loop. We wanted a 1.5 rotation turn. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of day 1 of actually putting lights up. This is originally day 2. I was hoping that I would have had it all up in the 2 days. However, because everything was frozen, we had a heck of a time. But day 1, I think we got 5 strands. So here we got them plugged in and tested and playing with them just to see how everything was kind of going along. Not a perfect loop around, but pretty good. So again, this is the end of day 2. Day 3 was a miserable day. Really cold. I think we're down to about minus 13, 14. Wind chill had it a little bit cooler than that. So here I see I was having problems with red. Couldn't get the red to work. I finally figured out that one of my boxes wasn't plugged in. So here we're on day 2 of stringing lights, day 3 of the complete build. Had Ron here first helping me. Dylan wasn't out here yet. Okay, here's our last day. This is day 4 of the build, day 3 of stringing lights. As you could tell, we had much nicer weather. I didn't need my toque on. We had Ron and Dylan both here. It was a nice day. So it worked out good with the 2 of them. So I think the last day we had 6 or 7 strands left to put up, 4 of which we had to build completely from new. The other ones, the other 11 strands we had already made up. So as you can tell, this tree is starting to take a little better shape. So here we're getting down to the end. I think we got 1 or 2 strands left to put up. Getting anxious to get this thing done. So this looks like this is the final strand. think we were all pretty excited to be done. So once the lights were all up, then we just had a couple hours worth of plugs, extension cords we had to make. Okay, so I would also like to put many thanks out there for Dylan, who helped me through every day of the build. Ron, who helped me through a good chunk of it. We had Chris Rosenmeyer come out as well, help. You see him from the sausage videos. We also had Tanner come out and give us a hand for a day as well.
From our house to yours, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas from all of us at Pigsicle BBQ.
Please turn on your magic beam.